feedback from the market. That's also a part of product management. Over the years, there's been instances of people or startups who, they start. There's noise in the background. Please, can you mute your mic, whoever that is? Okay, thank you very much. So I was saying that over the years we've seen instances of startups coming to say, okay, we're no longer doing this. We can no longer provide so and so services for you, and so we're going to be rolling back and withdrawing the product from the market. That's also a part of product management. So basically, from start to finish, that's what product management is. So I wrote here that you can think of product management as the function in a company responsible for strategically driving the development, the market launch, continual support, and the improvement of a company's product. So this is basically to buttress all that I said earlier on. You have to strategically drive the development of the product. You have to be sure that what we intend to develop and what we intend to roll out to the market is something that people will gain value from. It's something that will actually delight our customers. It's something that would actually speak to the pain points of our customers. And you have to strategically, present that product in such a way that people would be open to, making use of it and stuff. And then you launch, and then even when you've launched, you have to continually, support your customers as they use the product. There are instances where maybe you might have like a downtime, or there's like a timeout, and the product is not, maybe it's not doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Maybe something is failing somewhere, there's a bug somewhere. In instances like that, you have to be there to support your customers, reassure them that, especially if if the application or if the product is a financial product, people are very sensitive about their money. So you have to let them understand that their money is safe with you. And even though you have a downtime now, in the next few hours or in the next few minutes, everything will be resolved and stuff. So you have to continually support your customers, and then you have to continually improve the product. You have to continually take feedback from your customers to ensure that the product is improved. No product is ever done. That's why you see that companies are always releasing versions. So for instance, at where I work, you see there's an alert 4.1, there's alert 4.2, there's alert 4.3. What we're trying to do is that we're trying to improve the quality of the service that we're offering to you via that product. Sometimes we're changing flows to make your experience more seamless. Sometimes we're adding more features to delight you and make you happy to bank with us and stuff like that. So basically that's it. I wrote here on my slide that the main objective of product management is the development of a new product. The ultimate goal is to make sure you are building the right product and you're building the product right. So it's not just about building a product. It's not just about having an idea, conceiving an idea, and then just going into the market, just developing and going into the market. You have to be sure that this product that you are building is the right product. This product is something that people will use, because some ideas they're just good on a surface level. But when you sit down to think about it, you realize that this is not exactly going to provide value for our customers. So it might not be the right product at that time for your customers. So you have to ensure that you're building the right product. You have to ensure that you're building the products the right way, such that life is easier for your customers simply because they have your product. You have to that the process to using the product is seamless for your customers. Customers can enjoy using the product. I've seen instances of products that are generally good products, and then out of the blues there's an improvement or there's an update, and people start to complain, why did you guys update it from what it was before to what it is now? Simply, and most times it's usually because maybe the flow is now a little more technical. Customers don't know where to go. A button used to be right in their face before, but now they have to search for the button. They can't seem to find the button and stuff like that. So you have to ensure that you're not just building the product, but you're building the product the right way. And to do this, you have to collaborate with the best, and of course the best engineers, the best designers, the best marketers, because it's not just about developing a product. You also have to roll out the product in a way that it would be enticing for for your customers. And that is why marketing is important. You need marketers to, position the brand in such a way that the brand is telling a story that customers can relate to, and customers want to be a part of that story. So who is a product manager? I'm trying my best to run through my slide as quickly as possible so I can take questions. Who is a product manager? A product manager is basically that person who does product management. So it is the job of a product manager to, to discover, to manage the development and the delivery of a product that is valuable, that is usable, and that is feasible. So it is the job of a product manager to discover. So there's something they call product discovery. You have to sit down, you ideate, you come up with ideas to make the life of your customers better. You ideate, you conceive the ideas, you put together a plan for the development and the release of that particular product, and then you deliver to your customers. But then you have to ensure that, like I've said earlier, the product has to be a valuable product. It has to add value to your customers. It has to be usable. It has to be feasible. Your idea has to be feasible. Is this something that is achievable? Some things are, like I said earlier, they are good. They sound nice on the surface, but it's hard to implement, or the implementation, or the technical infrastructure. The way to go about technical infrastructure might not be as straightforward as possible, might not be visible for your team at that time. So even though it's a good idea, you might want to sit it out for now until maybe when your team is equipped enough to take on a product of that kind and stuff. So a product manager is basically that person who oversees the entire development life cycle of a product. A product manager is that person who ensures that the product is aligned with the business goals. So it's not just about building a product. You are building a product because because you are in a business. And if you're in a business, it means that you have to make money. So you have to ensure that the product that you are building is delivering value for your business. You have to ensure that the product is meeting the needs of the business. The product is aligned to your business needs. Product managers are basically, if there is I was going to do this in this slide, but I think I forgot to do that. So just imagine a Venn diagram. I'm sure we did Venn diagrams in secondary school, in secondary school mathematics. Imagine a Venn diagram. There's a circle on the left, there's a circle on the right, and there's a circle in the middle that intersects between the circle on the left and the circle on the right. That circle in the middle, that portion where the left and the right intersect, that's where product managers are. And then the left is the business, the right is engineering. So you are the anchor between the business and the development team. You have to understand what the business needs, and you have to translate what the business needs in a way that your developers, your engineers understand what the business is trying to achieve, and then they can then write code to build whatever it is that will meet the needs of your business, which is a product. So product managers are usually at the intersection of business and engineering. Also, a product manager is supposed or expected to be the voice of the customer. You're supposed to be the customer's advocate. You're supposed to speak for your customers, because they say that customers are always right. Customer is king. And to a large extent, it is true, because if you do not have customers who are, using your product and giving you money for using your product, then why exactly are you in business? Before you know it, you're out of business. So it's important that there's somebody who is advocating for your customers. So that is what a product manager does. You have to constantly be in touch with your customers. You have to understand their pain points while using your product. You have to understand what they want. You have to understand what they need to make their lives easier as people who use your product. So you have to always advocate for them, and then you have to ensure that you are doing everything to delight them. You're doing everything to make sure that they are happy with your product, that they are happy with the service that you're rendering to them. Up next, we're just going to quickly rush through some of the responsibilities of a product manager. Um, First is to conduct market and user research. I'm not going to overflog any of these responsibilities, but I'll do my best to just explain so everybody understands. Um, so it is your responsibility as a product manager to do your market research. It's your responsibility to benchmark, look at what's the market saying, what's the business landscape saying, what are your regulatory bodies, what are they saying, what are your competitors doing, do your competitive research, understand the strengths and the weaknesses of your competitors, understand your strengths and your weaknesses as well. This is where you can also do SWOT. Also research your users, speak to your users. You can use there are different tools to gather feedback from users. You can use focus groups, you can use questionnaires, you can use surveys. Just ensure that you are getting data from your customers. And it's not just about getting data, it's also ensuring that you are analyzing this data such that you can use this data to speak to the business, and then the business can then make decisions off the data that you are getting. So you have to be able to analyze the data that you are gathering, and you have to be able to translate the data into value for the business and value for the product. It's also the job of a product manager to write product requirement documents. So we call them PRDs. They're basically like an overview of what the entire product is supposed to be. So that's where you detail your vision and your goals, the objectives of the product. That's where you detail your user personas. It's where you detail your features. Apologies for the noise. There are children in my compound. That's where you detail your features, your user flow, your metrics for performance. That's where you also detail your out of scope, the things that you will not be doing. So basically, it's the job of the product manager to put these documents or documents like this, together. Up next is product road mapping. So it's also your job as a product manager to come up with a roadmap. A roadmap is supposed to be like a high level plan for your product. You have to have a plan. What are you guys going to achieve between the next 1 year? What features are you going to be working towards? Now, having a plan like this, so you're not exactly expected to follow through with the plan, because things can happen during the course of the year. Your regulators, maybe CBN, can just come up with a policy that makes it impossible for you to carry on with a feature that you guys had in mind. But basically, a roadmap is supposed to just be like a form of guide for you all through, within a time frame. So you have to have a roadmap. What are you doing at so and so time? So it's the job of the product manager, in collaboration with the business, because the business knows what they want, in collaboration with the business, to draw up a roadmap that will serve as a guide and a plan for the product team. It's also the job of the product manager to prioritize features. Yes, you would always get ideas and requests different from different departments in the company. You would always get requests or suggestions from the sales team. Sales team will come and say, "Oh, I think we should do this." Marketing will come and say, "Oh, I think we should do this." The business itself will come and say, "Oh, I think we should do this." But the truth is that you cannot do everything at a time. You have only a handful of engineers on your hand. No matter how many you guys are in your team, you cannot do everything at a time. So it is important that you prioritize your features. Look through and see what suggestions are nice to have, which ones are, that's it's not exactly nice to have. It's just, you know some are very, very important. You must have some features that I must have, some I should have, some I could have. So it's your priority, as it's your job as a product manager to prioritize whatever suggestions, whatever features that the business or other people in the company are suggesting. Just prioritize them. There are a number of prioritization, what's the word now, frameworks out there, so you can use any of them. It's also the job of a product manager to manage the product backlog. Drawing from what I said about a feature as well, it's your job to, everything that everybody is saying, it's your job to, document them and just have them in a backlog where that you can always make recourse to. So it's your job to keep track of all of those things, things that people are suggesting, or things that you the team has, or maybe work that the team started but could not finish, maybe technical depths that the team has. It's your job as a product manager to just manage the backlog and ensure that things run smoothly. It's also the job of the product manager to manage stakeholders. The stakeholders are your business team, your engineers are stakeholders as well. Your sales team are stakeholders. Most importantly, your customers are stakeholders. Your regulatory bodies are stakeholders. Your partners, maybe third party companies that you integrate with, they're also your stakeholders. So it's your job to ensure that you manage them. Some stakeholders are people that you have to constantly follow up with. You have to constantly follow up with them. You have to constantly give them an update. Some stakeholders you don't have to necessarily, it's not every time you have to follow up with them and give them updates. Just understand what kind of power your stakeholders wield, and then from there you know how to relate with them. So it's your job as a product manager to ensure that you're adequately managing these guys so that everybody's good. It's also your job as a product manager to monitor product performance. You can't just build a product. You have to monitor the performance of the product. Is the product doing well? What's your monthly recurring revenue? At what rate are you acquiring new customers? At what rate what's your churn rate? At what rate are people dropping off your product? What are the drop off points in your product? So it's your job as a product manager as well to be on top of that, to understand where your product is at performance wise every time. You have to know the numbers as a product manager. You have to know the numbers your product is doing as well. It's also your job as a product manager to collect feedback from your customers and from your stakeholders as well. Like I said earlier, when you collect feedback is like gold. It's data that you can use to then make decisions that will better the product. So ensure that you're collecting feedback as well as a product manager. The rest of my slide is basically speaking to how you can land your first product management role. I'm going to quickly run through this. It's quite a lot, but I'll be fast. So I spoke to about 5 different product managers, and I realized that there is no exact way to landing a product management role. It's different for different people. So I want you to keep that in mind as you begin to take steps into as you begin to take steps towards applying to roles and stuff. There is no one surefire way to landing a product role. So how then do you land a a product role in spite of the uncertainties? Well, first, I want you to keep in mind that there is no clear-cut educational path. Neither is there any clear-cut career path into product management. So it's not a course that you can go to school to study. For instance, if you go to university and you study computer science, well, you are a computer scientist at the end of your degree. If you go to school and you study medicine, at the end of your degree, you are a doctor. But it's not the case for product management. So there's no clear-cut educational path, and there's also no clear-cut career path. We have people from diverse backgrounds in product management. For example, I studied English and literary studies, and I have a marketing background. Well, here I am today doing products. So you can make um, you can make of that what you will. So there is no clear-cut path into product management. So, but then what are ways that you might want to explore to land in a role? Well, you can explore internships. There are your internships opportunities out there. Go on LinkedIn. Find people who are willing to take on interns. When you intern with people, what you are doing is that you're allowing yourself to learn how to own real-time product decisions at a real company with mentors to help you grow and stuff like that. You can also transition internally from wherever it is that you're working. That was the case for me. I transitioned from the marketing department into the product team at where I was working at the time. So you can explore internal transitions. You can also embark on a personal project. This is one way to get your foot in when you are applying. You know that you do not have product experience, but then you can get together with some friends, conceive an idea, and then just build out something that's like a product. Maybe come up with a prototype, and just have it on your CV that, oh, myself and a group of friends, we did this. It shows that you have what's the word, you have initiative. You're not just waiting around to land a job, but then by doing that with your friends, what you're doing is that you are building your product muscle. And when you actually get the time, or when you actually get the opportunity to actually, be in a space where you can be a product manager, it means that you will deliver, because I mean, it's not your first rodeo, you've done it before. um Also, there are also associate and entry level roles. The truth is that there are not a lot of these out there, but they are out there. They are hard to find, but they are out there. There are a lot of associate, entry level roles into product management. Some very big organizations have these. For instance, there's the Google Associate Product Management program. There's also an Atlassian Associate Product Management program. So there are companies who offer this opportunity to um, rookie product managers, and it's a great way to get in. Also, find product communities. I tell people that product communities are like a gold mine, because what it is exposing you to people from different walks of life, people in people from different walks of life, people with diverse years of experience. All of you are just in one community as product managers. You can learn from them, you can shoot your shot at them and even get a job, if you position yourself well. So it's just up to you to be an active member of communities like that, and to network diligently, and and then apply for opportunities posted, because some of these communities usually post opportunities. They usually post vacancies and stuff. So that's also another way. Another way is also by cold mailing organizations. So when you cold mail somebody, it's basically you just find an organization that you want to work with, do your research, and then you probably a shoot somebody in there a mail, maybe their CTO or their CEO. But the catch to doing this is that for this to work, you have to prove that you are actually bringing value to the table. So I'd advise that you do your research about whatever company it is that you're looking to get into, and then find out valid areas where they need improvements, put all of this in a document, build a strong case for yourself, and then reach out to a decision maker, like I said earlier, maybe their CEO or their CTO. And you never can tell, you just might have your leg in. So also here I just detailed what you can do while you're waiting to land your first product role. Waiting to land your first product role can be very, very tiring. But ensure that your resume is up to date. You want to ensure that your skill you're highlighting your skills to show that you have product relevant skills. So you might not have product experience, but you can craft your resume in such a way that it would highlight the skills that you need to be successful as a product manager. So, for instance, on your resume, you might want to have communication, teamwork. You might want to have stakeholder management, and stuff like that. If you have experience with maybe data, you might want to include data analysis, because you'll be working with data if you're a product manager as well. So it's important that you craft your resume to speak to what you're going for. So ensure that your resume is up to date. Ensure that somebody else is looking at your resume and not just you. Also, make sure that you are taking up product courses, or you're watching up product videos on YouTube. Ensure that you're a part of product conversations on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Make sure you're reading product books, you're reading articles, and let your personal brand on social media, let it include your interest in product management. I see a number of people on Twitter, for instance, and they're always talking about every other thing aside product management. And for instance, this person has walked up to me and said, "Oh, I'm interested in product management." You are interested in product management, but you are talking about every other thing aside product on your social media. Nobody in your circle knows you're interested in product management, because you're not talking about it. So ensure that your personal brand, includes your interest or your enthusiasm for product management, because a lot of times things like this just register subconsciously in the minds of people around us. And then when, for instance, maybe somebody they know has an opening somewhere, they would easily remember if they've seen you put up on your status, or if they've seen you put up on your Twitter that, oh, maybe you said something about product management in the past, or you just randomly mentioned you were looking for a role. You would be easy to it will be easy to recall you, because you have spoken about it. So ensure that your personal brand, includes your enthusiasm for product management. Also apply to
Sorry,
opportunities
James.
aggressively. Okay.
Sorry. I think we should try to wind down so that we can take questions. We have
Question.
less than 5 minutes to go.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
So apply to opportunities aggressively. Remember that it's a numbers game, and the more places you apply to, the more your chances of getting a product job. Fun fact: I applied to 26 organizations before I landed my second product role, and I applied to 52 organizations before I landed my third, which is my current product role. So keep applying. Like I said earlier, it's a number games. So I think we are done here. I think this is okay. We have 5 more minutes, so we'll just keep this. I think I already touched on some of these things while I was speaking. So at this
Sorry.
point we'll just take
No, please,
questions.
you can. Sorry, Temtapa, you can finish that slide. I think that's the only slide remaining. The
Yes.
previous one, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was going to say if these are like some important things to keep in mind when you are going for your product management interviews. Research the company and research the products. Do not go into an interview without knowing what the product is about. So make sure you research the company, make sure you research the product, make sure you use the product ahead of time. If it's a financial app, download it and use it. Use it to make transfers, play around with the app, note down your observations, the area of improvement, note all of them down, research some of the company's competitors, do a mini competitive analysis, just ensure that you have every knowledge that would be an ammunition for you in the interview. Also practice with PM interview questions. There are a number of interview questions on Google, so you can go on Google and find all of those. Also, you might want to have like a script-like guide for staple questions. So, for instance, when they ask you to introduce yourself, what is your favorite product and why, which is something most interviewers always ask, have like a script where you've written down what you want to say. So it's more like a guide for you. You don't get into the interview and then you start to stammer. This is something I personally do just to ensure that I have a little more control over what's happening. So have a script like guide for staple questions. You can also do mock interviews with a friend or with a colleague. All of this will help to boost your confidence, towards the interview. Also, while you're interviewing, use product language when you're answering questions. When you use product language, it means that you have the basic product knowledge. And as such, you'll be able to converse freely. And then it would also show to whoever it is that's interviewing you that you know what you're doing. Or at least, even if you do not have experience, you have an idea what product management is. So make sure you use product language. Make sure that your answers are customer focused because, like I said earlier, product managers are supposed to be the advocates of the customer. So make sure your answers are, customer focused. And lastly, treat the interview like it's a conversation. Again, it's a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask your interviewer questions as well. They're not just interviewing you, you're also interviewing them. So I think that with this, we've come to the end of this presentation. So we can take questions at this point.
Thank you so much, Temtapa. That was really, really good. I think with what you've taught, we can just say we are product managers already. Thank you so much. So we'll take questions now. Okay, Almaruf, please go.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Almor from Nigeria. Please, I want to confirm. Most of the time, we see this product now and this and this. Is it part of product management too?
I didn't get that. Please, can you say that again?
Product owner. What's the difference between product owners and the product managers?
So here's the thing. Um, Generally speaking, the roles overlap. Okay, the roles overlap, and in some places, it's difficult to tell what the difference is, especially in Nigeria. It can be difficult to tell what the difference is because some organizations call their product managers product owners, some organizations call their product managers, but if generally speaking there is supposed to be a difference, and the major difference is that a product manager is supposed to be more strategic than a product owner. So product managers are more they're more in tune with the business. You understand the business needs. On the other hand, product owners are supposed to be more in tune with the engineering team. They're supposed to be more in tune with, oh, we have so and so task that's yet to be done. We have a bug that's yet to be fixed. We have so and so that's yet to be done. So basically, that's the difference. Some organizations have both product owners and product managers. Some organizations have just a product manager who does the job of a product owner. Some organizations have a product owner who does the job of a product manager. So the roles interlap, and a lot of times it's not very easy to tell the difference. But the major difference is that a product manager is more strategic. You are more in tune with the business than with development. So basically, I hope that
Thank
answered your
you so
question.
much. Amor, does that help?
Yes, it helps, and I want to ask another one if it is not too
Yeah,
much.
that's fine.
Sorry. Okay, what will like somebody that have a background in maybe data analytics or data science? What's
Mhm.
your advice on such person to go into product management?
Okay, so product management, like I said earlier, there is no clear cut um career path. There's no clear cut educational path. So people are welcome from anywhere. That's the truth. And if you have a data background, I believe that product managers who have a background in other fields have a higher chance at succeeding. For instance, I have a background in marketing, and that has helped me because I'm always able to collaborate better with my marketing team whenever we have to maybe like launch a product and stuff. So if you are a data scientist or if you're a data analyst and then you become a product manager, that's an icing on the cake for you because you're able to better relate with your data team. You're able to better with your data team. They will not give you, because there are instances where I know it's not ideal, but there are instances where you're working with people, and because they know that you do not have the technical knowledge about what you're supposed to do, they might lie to you. But if you are somebody who has a background in data and then you are working with a data analyst who's trying to cut corners and say, oh, this is not possible to spool this. I can't spool this record for you. I can't do this for you. But you know, because you're a data analyst, that it's possible. So it just makes your work easier. It also means that you can also maneuver data to make, you can analyze data better to make decisions.
Thank you so much. I think let's move to Luakayode.
Hi, good afternoon, Tokwe.
Hi, Loa Kayode. Please refer to me as Temi Tokwe. Thank you.
All right, Team Tokwe, I can tell you're very passionate about what you do and you love it, yeah?
Yes.
So, my questions, I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Number one is I have a finance and procurement background and I've been
Okay.
working for 10 years, but I have a
Okay.
passion for tech, right?
Okay.
And after self discovery, I've come to understand that I mean tech is broad, right? So
Mhm.
the aspect of tech that I like is product management.
Mhm.
So how can I transition, right, seamlessly into product management without them telling me the usual, story that oh you have no experience, you need to demonstrate capacity, right? Given that I've done like two courses on product management on a platform called Entry Level,
Okay.
which just gave me like a very, very, very surface understanding, right,
Mhm.
of what product management is. And then secondly, like what are the must-have skills, right? Every
Okay.
product manager must have. And I need you to touch on the importance of learning, or rather, whether it's important or not to learn about product marketing and then product-led growth. Yeah,
Product
that's all.
marketing and then what?
Product-led growth.
Products.
Product growth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's walk backwards. Your first question was about the fact that you are in finance, you're trying to transition and you don't know exactly how to get in, even though you have taken certifications and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you were listening. You're going to have to keep applying. Now you need to understand that you are a person of value. You have over 10 years of experience in finance. That's 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 something a lot of people in the tech space do not even have. So I feel like that's an edge that you already have, and you might want to maybe tailor your search to companies in the finance space. Maybe tailor your search to what's the word, to financial institutions, investment banks and stuff like that. So you might want to tailor your search into places where your finance background would, no brainer, they would be of value, because it might be difficult to prove to prove the value of your wealth of experience to a health tech company, because you are coming from finance, you are going to health tech. But if you are still within the finance space, it might be easier for you to prove your worth to them, because I mean it's something that they can see. 10 years is not a joke. So I also believe that you should keep applying. Like I said earlier, it's a numbers games. It's a game of numbers. And as a product manager, you should be able to sell yourself. Honestly, if I had 10 years of experience, if I had 10 years of experience as a finance person, oh my god, I don't know what to say. But please just keep applying. Keep
So
applying.
yes, sorry
Okay.
to interject. So it's finance and procurement, right? So where I
Okay.
work, right, there's a
Mm-hmm.
tech team, right, and they are
Mm-hmm.
working on a digital product, right?
Okay, so why
And
not? Mm-hmm.
yes, but you know how it is Nigerian companies and one man businesses, you know, you can't as in like it's almost impossible to move from one unit to another, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not actively involved, but I'm very aware
What
about
is
what they are working on, right?
mm-hmm.
Because I've
Mm-hmm.
been very nice to them. Like I've had to buy them lunch, you know, to have them to walk me through the whole process and all that stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I'm very, very aware, right? And I know that I mean transitioning to tech most especially, right, is more about demonstrated capacity, right? Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, showing me a product like you've worked on, like or you've created, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is because I also did a course in business analysis slash project management, like a hybrid stuff, and we worked on a CRM, project, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that like I'm just like, how will I put it, right? Like so two things. One, identifying my low hanging fruit, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
number two, like having to is like the experiences and knowledge is just scattered. It's like putting it together and then making the package very, very, very attractive.
Mm. I think I get you. So I
Yes.
believe
Sorry. I'm thinking that that is more of a personal question than a general
yes,
question. So
yes.
maybe you can connect with Temitope on LinkedIn and book a
And then
call with
have
her.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that you can have that session
All
one on
right.
one. I think we should just take Chima's question and then
Thank
join
you.
the general group.
Thank you, Coyote. Thank you. Please, I'll be expecting your message on LinkedIn. Please shoot me a connection request.
No problem. I'll do.
Great.
All
Thanks.
right.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my question was this. I said, how can I best maximize my BA product management knowledge, BA knowledge, product management knowledge, and project management knowledge? I had just concluded a program with Hybrid. I had done a cohort, an accelerator course in BA, accelerator course in product management, and then heading for my master's in project management. And I'm just really trying to see how I can harmonize these three, and maybe uh, translate it into some hands-on experience. How does this help me? How does this three knowledge help me in building my career? Yes,
What do you currently do, Chima?
I'm actually a lawyer. I'm a lawyer and just transitioning. I am also relocating from Nigeria to the UK, so there's need for me to diversify. you know
This also sounds to me like a personal question.
oh, okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
please shoot me a message on LinkedIn. Let's have. I'm particularly interested in this. Let's have this conversation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I will. I
All
will let
right. So I think we'll just call it. We'll bring this to an end. I'll share the link now so we can join. Go back to the main. Go back to the main, like the general group. But do you mind, Temitope,
Okay.
do you mind sharing your LinkedIn handle so that
Yes,
people who
please.
connect with you can connect with
Um. So it's Temitope Olowokere. So search for Temitope Olowokere. You will find me there.
you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Temitope. It was a very insightful session. Thank you for
Thank
honoring
you.
the invite and for sharing your knowledge with us. So I just shared the link on the group. Please let's follow the link and go back to the general group.
All right. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
So I'll be here till everybody goes back there so that this right. Hi Philip. Please follow the link and join before I end this call. Adenaya. Right.